Measures of central tendency. So in this video, we are going to define the measures of central tendency and calculate and interpret the measures of central tendency from a variety of sources. Measures of central tendency should very much be a review. If you don't remember this name, you should remember things like mean, median, mode, and range. Okay? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to go ahead and pause, write down the definitions of these, and then we'll come back and talk about them on the other side. Alright, you can see all that? Okay, we're good. Alright, so the mean, the average. You guys know how to calculate the average. If I have a data set, what do I have to do? Add them all up and divide by how many there are. There are 5 pieces of data in my data set, so I add them all up, divide by 5, there's my average. So, I don't know, if that was the number of popsicles I ate each day, what was the average number of popsicles I ate on any given day? 3.6 popsicles. Okay? The median. The median is the middle number. But there's something that you should be telling me right now that you have to do before you can get the median. What do you have to do before you can get the median? You have to put them in order from least to greatest. Okay? So please make a note of that. They have to be in order from least to greatest. Then it's simply the middle number. Well, this data set is small. I can take my fingers, cover them up, and the median is 3. Okay? What happens though if I end up with 2 numbers in my data set in the middle? You have to find the mean. So if I had, just pretending, if those 2 had ended up in the middle, 3 and 4, what's the middle of those 2 numbers? Well, 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. It would have been 3.5. Okay? So make note of that. The mode, come on. What is the mode? It is the one that occurs most often. Okay, let me get a pen for that. I like to remember that because mode starts with MO, and so does most. MO. That would be 2. The range. The range is simply the high minus the low. So in our data set, this one's not tricky. Which one's the high? Which one's the low? Well, right there. 7 minus 2 is 5. So that's the range. This should be a review. Are you ready to move on? Good. Alright, so here we go. So first of all, here's some data that you've been provided. We're not going to take time to create these because you did this in 7th grade. What are these? What kind of display or graph is this? I hope you're shouting, stem and leaf plot! We have our stems, we have our leaves, and then we have a key on how to read this. So this number is 92, this is 93, 94. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, and you're going to answer all of these questions. So get out your calculator, pull all this data out. Now, for the median, is this already in order? Yes, it is, as long as you write it the way it is. Okay? So pause, answer all these questions. Check your answers with mine. How'd they pan out? So the morning grades, the average was about a 55. The afternoon was a 75.45. You could ask a ton of questions. Do you think there was any... What was the impact that made the afternoon grades have a lower mean than the morning grades? I don't know. You could go all kinds of places with this. The big thing is pulling these numbers out. 92, 93, 94. Okay? Next one. Now, this one is a histogram. So it's just a different type of data table. Below shows the ages of students attending a movie. So first of all, let's kind of just look at this graph and interpret it. Let me make sure you can see that. Yes, you can. Okay. So we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. What do you think is going across the bottom? I hope you're saying their ages. This is the ages. And actually look at it. It's an age range. Okay? So which age range goes to the movies most often? 35 to 40. So that's our age range that goes the most. And that actually answered one of the questions. Which one is that? Median or mode? That is the mode, the one that happens the most often. Okay, that would be this column right here. Because he's the tallest. Alright? So now, let's look at this one. This one gets a little tricky, okay? So the median, they've got to be in order from least to greatest. Well, are these in order from least to greatest right now? No, okay? This little guy should go somewhere over here, okay? However, we can still find the middle age range, okay? So we're just going to take one from the small and one from the large until we get into the middle. So this guy's the smallest. Who does he get paired up with? The biggest, so he's gone. This one, I'd say this one is the second largest, smallest. He gets paired up with this guy. Okay, he's the second largest. Let's pair up our next one. This one's kind of small. He gets paired up with this one. Who's left in the middle? What age range is that? Good. It's 20 to 25. Let's cut that out of there. That's our median. Okay, so you could have cut all these blocks out, put them in a nice neat order from smallest to largest, but if you turn on your brains and think about it for just a minute, that's all you're doing. You're taking one from the small, one from the high, one from the small, one from the high, okay, until you're left with somebody in the middle. And this ended up being the 20 to 25-year-old age range. You all right with that? Good. Last one. Okay. I have the following ages of students in my after-school club. Blah, 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 blah. There they are. What is the mean? What is the range? And then I accidentally recorded a 9-year-old instead of a 13-year-old. So meaning I asked this kid his age, and I thought he said 9, so I wrote down 9, but he was actually 13. How does that affect my mean age? So I want you to pause, get your calculator out, and answer them. The mean age was about 11.28, so about 11 years old is in my after-school grade. What's the range between the high and the low? What's the difference that separates my youngest child from my oldest child? 4, okay, right? No, oh yeah, 13 minus 9, I'm okay. 13 minus 9. All right, but now, I get to this question. I accidentally recorded that 9-year-old and he was supposed to be 13. So you get marked out and you're supposed to be a 13-year-old. So how does that affect my mean? What's going to happen? Well, what do you have to do? You have to recalculate the mean. So do it. If you haven't done it already, pause me and redo it. So what happened? The mean went up. It increased a half a point or a half a year. Okay, it was 11.28. Now it's approximately closer to 12. So the average age is closer to 12 now. If this were a BCR, you would have this mathematically justified, and then you would take that sentence and say, well, if the age was actually supposed to be 13, then my mean age would increase from 11.28 to 11.85. Done. Measures of central tendency, not hard. Make sure that you've watched all this, that you have everything important in here, because I'm going to be looking for it.